why Jamaicans cannot go back to Jamaica. Since Trump won I'm talking about Jamaicans in America. Since Trump won in November, the day after, I went on a lot of Jamaican sites, a lot of Jamaican forums, and I've seen many Jamaicans right after, the day after Trump was announced as the president. I see many Jamaicans who said that now that Trump is going to be president, they are going straight back to Jamaica. I've seen a lot of them who started the process in terms of asking around about where they can find properties to buy. They look at locations. They were asking about good areas to live in. They were asking about great schools in different areas. They were asking about businesses in Jamaica that they could start. They were asking about a lot of things. And I'm talking about the day after the election. Up until about a week or two after the election, I was seeing a lot of that in Jamaican forums. But then things changed. 2 weeks after that, I realized that reality hit most of these Jamaicans. If not all of these Jamaicans who were planning that, they're going to return home because Trump is not a big president. Reality hit them that they cannot just go home. And I'm going to tell you the reason why these Jamaicans just cannot leave America and go buy a property in Jamaica, start a business, or go and seek out employment and live their happily ever after life back home where they were born or where their parents were born, where they grew up. They cannot live here in America for 20, 30 years and just move back. And these are the reasons why. Cultural differences. When you have lived in a country, a first world country, developed country for 3 years, 5 years, let alone 30 years, and you are looking to go back to a third world country or a developing country that still lack of infrastructures and a lot of businesses around customer services, the ease of doing transactions, the ease of doing businesses. It's really difficult to go back to a country that lack a lot of these things. Customer services in Jamaica is not the same as in America. Simple things as going to the doctor. My experience in America, going to the doctor versus going to a health center in Jamaica, a community health center or a hospital in Jamaica, you as a patient has to treat the nurse. The nurses as if they are the ones spending their money. Is as if you have to patronize the nurse to receive good service. Here, it's different. The nurses here, those that admin, the administrator, the management for the hospital will be on their back if they don't treat the patient properly. They're aware that the patients are the ones bringing in the money, so they have to treat them well. That's a huge difference. Another thing with taxes, if you were taxes, vehicle transfer, things like that, it's so easy to do a lot of things online. Here, you can purchase a vehicle today, apply for transfer and everything today. With the online, you go to the DMV and get things transfer. In Jamaica, a lot of times there's a lot of running around. You have to get that one signed, some kind of paper. You have to go and visit someone else to sign some kind of paper. You have to go and visit a JP to sign as well. So there's a lot of running around that you have to do. So things like that will cause a lot of Jamaicans not to want to go back. I've seen here in America where elderly people, for example, they are used to jump in on their bus and go wherever they want to go if they live in the city. If they live in the city in Kingston, which Kingston would be considered the city, Montego Bay, certain parts of Montego Bay would be considered a city. Before night come down, they have to be looking to go in. Whereby over here, I've seen people out and about at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night in Jamaica. By 6 o'clock, they have to be heading home for one reason or the other. I've spoken to one lady and she said that she actually moved to Jamaica and she had to move back. One of the big things is the ease of moving around for her, because she's used to just jumping in a bus, go to her church in the night, leave church at 9:30, 10, and jump on her bus, come back. She's used to that, traveling her own and doing her own thing. She can't do that in Jamaica. So she moved back to America. Another issue is families and friends. You have lived here for a prolonged period of time. You tend to be distant from the family that you live in Jamaica. To some extent, the friends that you live in Jamaica, you're distant from them. You gain new friends here. Your associates are different here. If you've lived here for 30, 40 years, most of your friends are gonna now be here. You're gonna leave them behind and move back to Jamaica, hoping to rekindle the friendships that you had in Jamaica, which a lot of times you're not moving back to the same community. So you can't really rekindle those friendships. So you've been moving back to Jamaica too, and you have to make new friends in the community that you're moving to. So that's an issue. One of the biggest issues as well is that you have kids here in America. Those kids won't be going back with you. You have grandkids here. A lot of times, all your grandkids are here. And if you're an older person, sometimes your life is centered around your grandkids and your kids. So you're gonna move back to Jamaica without your children, without your grandchildren, and you will definitely miss them. So you go back without them, you're gonna have to form new friendship. You're not gonna see your grandkids and your kids as regularly as you've always seen them. So it's gonna create a gap there for you, a relationship gap there for you. So that's one of the reality that hit a lot of people when they were thinking of going back to Jamaica. So it's not realistic. Another thing, as I said, convenience is another thing, is one of the main things, convenience of seeing a doctor, healthcare in Jamaica. There's a lot of issue with healthcare in Jamaica. If you have an emergency and you have to go to, say you have a great doctor, you have a great doctor that can come to your house. Doctors do that, mobile doctors, your and general practitioner come to your home because they can afford it. But if it's an emergency, you have to rush to the hospital. You go to the hospital, you're there waiting for a bed for like 3 days. 3 days, 3 nights, you're sitting in a chair waiting for a bed. How convenient is that? That's norm in Jamaica. We're sitting on waiting for a bed in a chair, you're sick. So you're sitting in a chair waiting for 3 days and 3 nights in a chair. Imagine that. So healthcare is not convenient or convenient. So a lot of people think that, okay, if it comes to that, they will just jump on a flight and head to Miami or wherever. It's not really convenient. It depends on the level of sickness that you have. But you can jump on a plane and head out, land in New York, land in Texas, land in Miami in whatever time. It's not always possible. So that's another big thing. Another thing is like people who are of working age who think that, okay, there are jobs in Jamaica, they always see jobs advertised, some of their friends or families are in Jamaica, and some of them are doing well, so there's no reason why I can't go back to Jamaica with my US qualification, with my US experience, and get a job. When you head back to Jamaica now and then, the reality hits you that you are competing against everyone else in Jamaica. You are competing against people who have links in Jamaica. Having link is very important in Jamaica. Knowing someone who knows someone is extremely important in Jamaica. So when you get to Jamaica now and realize that your qualification, you have overseas qualification, you have first world country qualifications and experience, you think back and companies would grab you because of that. No, you're still in the line. You're still in the competition like everyone else. So it will take a long time for you to find the kind of work that you're looking for that's going to pay you the type of money that you're looking for. Now, moving back to Jamaica, it's going to take a lot of learning and relearning, and it's going to take a lot. It's like moving to a new country altogether. It's easier. I'm going to say it's easier for someone in Jamaica to move to the US and fit in and get things going easily than a Jamaican who lived in the US for a long period of time, for that person to move back to Jamaica and fit in and live comfortably. It's much, much difficult. And I'm not talking about someone is going to go to Jamaica, live for 3 months when it's cold over here, and then return when it's summer. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about someone who back up, sell their house, sell whatever, and move fully back to Jamaica, and that's their home. It's going to be very difficult for that person to really start mingling with everyone, for that person to feel at home again in Jamaica, especially if that person wasn't really ready to move out to Jamaica, especially if that person's not a retiree who I'm out there like that. Yes, I'm doing work here in America for 50 years, for 40 years, and I've been in my home in the community that I came from, and they go back to their whole community. I'm not talking about that person. I'm talking about a person who, because Trump won the election, they gonna up and leave America because of that. That person is gonna have a very difficult time. And I've seen it all the time where people are saying that, oh, they're going to buy a house. You're looking at homes. No, they're going to buy one, return to Jamaica, find a job. Get asking about what business can they do in Jamaica. If you really get returned to Jamaica, you cannot be asking what business you can do in Jamaica. You should have already known what business is, are doing well, what it is that you want to do. You should have reached at least 90%. You should be in at least 90% already with your business plan in Jamaica. Not just asking that what business you can do in Jamaica at this stage when you're ready to pay back. When I started, I said that within the first week, second week after, in November, I see a lot of people asking about that. But no, I'm seeing less and less. And those same people are coming back to reality, saying that they are staying, whatever they're going to do, but they're not asking about going back. But I think it was a shock of knowing that Trump is back in power. That's the shock. And the shock of knowing that Kamala was hyped up to win the election and she did not. So that was a huge shock to a lot of people, especially immigrants and Black people. That was a huge shock to them.